Players, how often do you encounter this type of loop during a match? What about a slow, high arc loop? Do you see that one often? We commonly call this a slow loop. It's a type of shot that's a hybrid between a loop and a drive. So, with a slow loop like that, do people often block it out? Is that what usually happens? When you're defending, do you use your fingers to apply pressure? You absolutely have to apply pressure. For the backhand, use your thumb. For the forehand, use your index finger. Watch this. If I keep my hand completely still and you loop at me, the ball goes long, right? Now, I'll start applying a little pressure with my thumb. For all my backhand blocks, I use my thumb to press down. Players, if you don't use it, you won't be able to adjust your racket angle quickly enough. Look at my thumb. I'll lift it up to exaggerate the motion. On my forehand, I rely entirely on my index finger. With the shakehand grip, the principle is thumb for the backhand, index finger for the forehand. So let's address a key question. When using your thumb and index finger, should the pressure be forward or downward? Let me demonstrate. If the incoming ball is a fast loop or has heavy topspin, you press forward. Hit a drive at me. See how my finger pushes forward? If it's a power loop, a drive, or a topspin shot, your pressure should be forward. However, this forward pressure requires your racket angle to be closed. An open racket face won't work. Press forward with your fingers. The same applies to the backhand. Don't go sideways, the return will be too slow. If your opponent hits a high arc loop with heavy spin, where you can see them accelerate through the ball, what do? If you push forward again, the ball will fly off the table. Therefore, your index finger must press downwards. Your finger needs to guide the pressure down. The backhand is the same. If they drive at you, your thumb pushes forward. If they hit a high arc loop, your thumb must press downwards. On the forehand, if the ball is a fast loop, the index finger pushes forward. Against a spinny loop, the index finger presses down. My feeling is that against almost any topspin ball, you can push forward. The ball isn't as spinny as you think. Your errors come from opening your racket face or pulling your arm back, creating a combined force with the incoming ball. Those are the reasons you miss. It's not because of the direction of force we just discussed. Think about why your blocks go long. When they loop, you pull your arm back. The moment you pull back, you create a combined force that sends the ball flying. Exactly. With that combined force, even a light touch will go long. You must not create that opposing force. You have to meet the ball in front of your body to press it and block its path. Hitting the net means they hit a fake loop, a ball that was just pushed over with topspin. You defended it as if it had heavy spin. Another scenario is a loop with very little spin. A soft block will return an awkward, slow ball, setting them up for their second attack. So you can't always just soft block. You need a small, firm push. Let's focus on the backhand first. Amateurs under pressure often hit short, high arc loops that are easy to attack. Against these balls, you have three options: a soft block, a press down block, or a punch block. Between the soft block, press down, and punch, which is the most reliable for getting the ball on the table? It's definitely the press down block. A soft block is risky. If you're too loose, it goes long, and it also sets up their next shot. So, let's talk about the punch block. The motion is compact. Keep your elbow pointing down, and use a quick flick of the racket tip. Let me demonstrate. Sorry, hit it long. The ball had a bit of a kick to it. The first rule is to keep your hand in front. Never pull it back. The moment you do, you create that combined force, which makes the ball go long. So, keep your hand forward. Second, keep your elbow pointing down and stable to maintain a consistent racket angle. Pointing your elbow sideways makes the swing unstable. Pointing it down makes it stable. The third point is to flick with the racket tip. This means you generate power forward with a small tap from the racket tip. Don't extend your forearm at all. Otherwise you'll likely hit the ball out. You're blocking a loop, not hitting a backhand drive. Just punch it out. Using the racket tip ensures the motion is minimal and stops on contact. Watch, players. As the ball comes, elbow down, flick with the racket tip, go. However, the punch block works best when the incoming ball isn't too powerful. Ideal for those slow, high arc loops. That kind of shot is perfect for a punch because it won't overpower you. Don't try to punch balls that land deep on the table. If their first loop is slow but deep, punching it will likely send it long. Therefore, the punch block is most effective against half-long balls, where you have more control. This is because there's less combined force from the incoming ball, making it easier to manage. Typically, you'll use this after they push and then follow up with a short, half-long loop. That's your chance to punch it. Never use full power. About 60 to 70% is all you need. A successful punch will catch them off guard. Stop making unforced, suicidal errors. Now for the forehand side. Against a slow loop, you have several options: a soft block, a press-down block, and a smash. The fourth option is a counter drive or quick counter. The counter drive is very difficult, so I recommend using it sparingly. You might win the point with a simple block, but miss trying to counter drive. Furthermore, to execute a counter drive, your forehand loop must be exceptional, with a strong ability to generate counter spin. Let me demonstrate. It's a purely offensive shot that's easy to miss. Your arm recovery must be incredibly fast. Think of Fan Zhendong's kneeling counter drives. That's a true quick counter, requiring you to reverse the ball's spin. Let me explain the counter drive, but I'll cover the more practical, press-down block right after. First, keep your racket high. You must brush the ball very thinly. This is the feeling you need. Start high and drive it forward with counter spin. That's the essence of a counter drive. Its difficulty lies in needing to brush the ball extremely thinly. Any impact or hitting motion will make the ball go out. There should be almost no flat contact. When they loop, you brush. They loop, you brush. That is a quick counter. You need that brushing action to make the contact incredibly thin. Keep your racket up. If it's low, you'll hit the middle of the ball. Keeping it high and closing the angle allows you to contact the top middle part. Second, the power comes primarily from your fingers and wrist, with the forearm driving forward. The brush must be exceptionally thin. You cannot have impact. It's a pure brushing motion, wrapping over the ball at the top of its bounce. There's no hitting involved, just good friction. Essentially zero impact. I feel there's almost no flat hit. A counter loop might have some, but a counter drive really doesn't. Keep the motion small, and don't take a backswing. You can practice this technique, but don't rely on it as your main defensive tool. For amateur players, the press-down block is much more reliable. For instance, if you soft block a slow loop, it will often go long. Instead, raise your racket and use your forearm to press forward and down. This is the most dependable method. If you want a solid forehand block, you must keep your upper arm close to your body. Keep your forearm relatively firm, and always start with your racket up. Then, as the ball arrives, drive your forearm forward and down. Raise it. Then press forward and down. Start high, drive forward and down. Let me demonstrate. Start high, press. The ball returned this way will have some backspin and be quite difficult for your opponent. So, raise your racket and use your forearm to apply force forward and downward. This press-down block is extremely effective. On the backhand, you can punch. But a backhand counter loop is incredibly difficult. I've never used it. I've never even seen players like Chen Meng use it. The women's strategy is to block the first ball safely and then build the rally. Let's not even try to learn it. They practice 8 to 9 hours a day for 20 years and still can't master it. Let's stick to the reliable shots. Raise your racket. This applies to penhold grip too. And finally, use your forearm to press forward and down.